Welcome to What's Your Story. And today we have a lady who's got a great story to share with you. My guest is Mary Evilsizer, who is the Executive Director of the Southern Nevada Center for Independent Living. Did I get that right?
You did, and it's a mouthful, and you got it perfect. Thank you.
Welcome, Mary. We're so glad to have you here today because there's so much that you offer to the community that people, I think, don't know about.
Oh, you know what? You are so right. Our consumers, once they get to know us, they say that we're the best kept secret that they've ever found. And we really want to thank you, our agency, our board, our other staff, and myself for having us on this program and allowing us the opportunity to share with our community one of the secret treasures they have here in Clark County. And if you look deep enough, Clark County has so many secret treasures.
Yes.
We consider our agency as such. We are funded by the Department of Education. Oh, excuse me. That was for 30 years we were funded by the Department of Education. We are now funded by the Department of Health and Human Services, the Administration for Community Living. And with our funds, most of our funds go into direct services, so we don't have a big marketing budget. So we market our services through outreach, through different activities. Word of mouth is one of our best marketing tools. People, after they receive services, will make a referral. So for us, this is a wonderful opportunity and a blessing that you've invited us to talk.
Well, I'm so glad to have you here because I think that people need to know about what you do and what you offer and the help that you can give people, because one of the things that I believe happens is as we grow older, we don't know where to get help for things. I know I've recently, my nephew has just reached the 65-year-old age, and he's mentally and physically challenged. And I've been trying to help him with Medicare, with Social Security, with getting his things all lined up. And I didn't know where to go. And then luckily, Connie, who's on your board, Connie Kratke, she referred me to you. And you said, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it made it a lot easier. It's starting to come together, you know. And I think sometimes we just don't know where to go. We don't know who can help. We don't know who to ask. We don't know who might have the answers to these life questions that we have as we grow older, or we're disabled. We don't know because we're living our life a certain way, and then all of a sudden life changes, and what do we do?
What do we do? It's I always equate it to when we started school. We were in kindergarten. We didn't know. We had to learn. Then we started school. We didn't know. And with the aging process, I love the aging process. I love the wisdom that comes with it, but I also understand that it's starting over. You're entering a new phase in your life. You're entering a new community. And with that community comes information, because there's going to be changes. Like with your nephew, and I will tell you your nephew's case, it's so easy to go left when you could go right. But if there's someone such as myself or one of my team members, we've been there before, we've done that before, we know and we understand. One of the parts of a Center for Independent Living is we try to become educated on the rules, regulations, policies, and procedures, the methodology. And the way that we learn that is we'll work with an individual, then we learn. Like in your case, I had done that similar situations so many times, so I knew exactly what was going on. But it's still hard that the family, and it's hard that your nephew should have to undergo the stress. And it's a mental hardship when you don't know where your life is going to go, and your life is really in somebody else's hands.
Yes.
And they know when you'll get that funding, what it will be, what you need to do to maintain it. And so learning all of that and relearning all of that in the beginning, it's I would say it's scary. And one of the things that we try to do at the center is to provide information, guidance, and support in a safe and non-threatening way. There are no stupid questions because none of us have been there before.
Right.
We're all just at that stage where we're learning. How are we going to live our lives now? It's changed. We're not working. Now all of a sudden we're looking at Social Security benefits saying, oh, okay, well, here I am. What do I do now? And to be honest, there's a large percentage of us that are not prepared for this life phase. A lot of people have done a lot of good work. They've worked. They've given heart and soul to their community, to their career, to their employment. And we never had a class on how to get older,
No.
how do you prepare for that, and it's really going to come. We don't believe, most of us don't believe it's really going to come, but it inches up on us. It really does. But if we're not prepared, there's still things we can do to live a good quality life. There's knowledge, there's information, there's services. So it doesn't have to be a hopeless situation, and you don't have to do it alone. It doesn't have to be frightening. And one of the services that we provide at the center is called peer counseling. And a peer is someone that you're equal. Nobody looks down at you because you didn't get ready. Nobody looks down at you because you don't know. Because we were all there. We learned what to do because we had to. We were either doing it for ourselves or we were helping somebody else in the same situation. So with centers, information, guidance, and support is provided in a safe and non-threatening environment. And I'd like to share with you that with our centers, there are 350
That's
centers.
amazing. I was looking because I made a list here that you said that they were in the U.S., Guam, American Samoa, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. And we have people watching this show from all of those places, and so that's really cool that they can learn about this.
It is. I love the connections. I love to network. I can pick up the phone and be with someone in Guam in 5 minutes. Texas, New York. Centers, we believe in networking. We have a lot of movement. If somebody is moving from our state to another state, we connect them with our center. They can provide them with information, help them get established in the community, learn about Social Security benefits, learn about benefits through the Division of Aging, through the state, learn about private foundations. There's a lot to learn. It's not, how do we say, it's not sexy, it's not publicized, it's not,
Yeah.
It's the information that you need to live a good quality life.
Yes.
And we know how to get there, we know how to do it. And once you're connected, then you have a peer to support you and guide you and provide you that information. So we are in all those areas. We're all funded by the same funding. And what's nice, in any of those areas, if you go, there's standardized form or standardized services. All centers try to provide the same services, so you know what to expect. Again, and I'm going to tell you the 5 services, but we'll talk individually about all of them.
Good.
The first service that centers are noted for is information and referral. That's when you need to know something, who do you call? You call a center. And our motto at the center is, if we don't know, we'll help you find out. We'll work on it together. And then we'll hop on Google right away and we'll say, oh, let's see, or maybe we can find it here. Or we happen to know somebody else, perhaps an aide for the congresswoman or one of our senators would know. So we work, it's not just like, well, we don't know, goodbye. It's like, well, let's work on it, let's find out. And what we do, each time we get an information referral call, it can be a new learning experience for us.
Yes.
It really can. Then the next service that's standardized at each center that we have is peer counseling. And peer counseling is defined as support, guidance, and information for your peer. and we see we're peers. We're not the medical model. You go in and your doctor says, let me check your blood pressure. Let me see. Okay, you're sick. And then you're sick. You're the patient. You do what the doctor says. At a center, you come in and you say, okay, it's time for me to downsize. My house is too big, but I'm not really sure. The last time I did this with 30 years ago. Right now my memory is going, and I could sure use a little bit of guidance, maybe on how to get started on this, who to talk to in the community. So then we make the connections. The connections that we make are usually people that we've met and trust.
Yes.
We have a lot of trust issues.
I understand that.
And it's because in the senior community, there's a lot of scamming going on.
Oh, it's amazing.
So you don't know who to trust all the time.
No. And I think seniors, as they grow older and as sometimes they start to lose their memory, or they can't function as well, they get a little afraid of who's out there and what. So it's better to have someone like you that can refer them to somebody that they know they can trust because you trust them.
Because we trust them. And one of the ways that we gain trust, if we give someone information, then we follow up with a call. We say, how did that work out? Did it work out? And that's when we find out, everyone wants to do their best in our community. That I feel comfortable with, but then
Okay.
I am
Bless
so
you.
glad you got me water. Thank you.
Bless you. I'm so
I just
sorry.
got a little piece of dust here.
Not a problem.
But, oh my. Okay, I am good. I'm good. I talked for about 8 hours straight on Saturday. So.
That's okay. Because always, John can also edit it.
Okay, that's good. It's good. So, with the trust issue, once we give out information, we ask for a callback. If we don't get a callback, we follow up with a call to see what happened. Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? Maybe it wasn't a good match. If that didn't work, let's try this. And I always equate it as having a good friend that just happens to know a lot of different information about the community. And that's how we like to treat the service of peer counseling, always as an equal. The individual receiving the service is in charge of the service. We do not want to control anybody's lives. In our society, it just seems like with the aging, there's a misnomer that somebody needs to come in and take control. People that are aging are quite capable of taking control. We've taken control all our lives. That's how we got where we were going.
Yes.
We're usually a little more controlling than we need to be, but that's how we get things accomplished. And then in the aging process, that control is seen as stubbornness, but it's not. It's just who we are. We're trying to keep control of our lives, and it's good to keep control as long as you can. We're going to need a little help. That goes without saying. And I think with the peer counseling, it's like, maybe it's time to get a little help. Maybe you qualify for that home care homemaker program that the state is running. You know, there's no loss of pride in, letting somebody come in. Maybe at this point you qualify for Meals on Wheels. You want to try it? If you want to try it, we'll guide you. We'll get you there. Maybe it's time to sign up for paratransit, which is our door-to-door transportation, which is wonderful. Okay, it takes a little longer, but you have another means of transportation. There comes a time when we all surrender our license. That to me is going to be heartbreaking, but when the time comes, I'll do it, but I'll sign up for another means of transportation.
Right.
So, and it's people that have done that are using those services at the center. They're guiding other people. Then we have we all have a standardized basic independent living skills training. That training here in Clark County, each center looks to see what's the indigenous need for training, what's the most requested training. What we have found in Clark County is people are asking for money management training. And they come to us and they say, you know, I get this much on my Social Security, but I just can't make it. And the first thing we do is a budget analysis. And what we find out is the reason they can't make it is they don't have enough money to make it. It's hard to make it on $780 a month. It really is. You have to be a financial genius. So we work with them. We review the budget. We work with Social Security. We assure they're getting maximum benefits. We check food stamps. If they're not on them, if they're willing to, we will not force them to take food stamps. A lot of times it's a pride issue.
Yes.
But we say, we understand that completely. We'll do whatever you want. If you want us to help you fill out the paperwork, we will. If you don't, you know, we'll find other ways. There's food banks. There's always a way to maintain your dignity and your integrity, and that is key and it's critical and it's important. If we're going to live productive lives in the aging process, dignity and integrity, we need that. We need that. So basic independent living skills training. Then we also have some newly founded services that the federal government has bestowed upon us with no funding.
Of course.
But we're doing it. We are now the ones in charge of transitioning youth. Those are ages 14 to 22, and the youth that we work with is age 22, but we can work with all youth. Age 22 to help them to transition. That's about the time they graduate from high school, to transition to post-secondary education, if that's what they want. With a lot of individuals with a disability, they will not have the capacity to go into post-secondary education. They might want to go into vocational training. And then we are very open, very honest. There are some individuals that will transition from going to school to trying to move into an apartment, trying to gain independent living skills training. But then there's others that will transition from high school to living at home. And then into maybe an assisted living situation, but it's more independent than living at home.
Yes.
With the center, we like to see individuals live in the most integrated setting possible, and that's our youth service. Then we're also charged with helping individuals that have found themselves in a nursing home for one reason or another that really don't belong there. So we help them to transition out of the nursing home back to community living. And right now we're blessed because we have CARES Act funding that has been helping us to provide like the first month's rent, the deposits, home setup, helping with the food. We partner with a food program, Meals with Dignity, which is an awesome program. They believe what we do. They believe in integrity and dignity. We're able to refer individuals to that program. They provide homemade meals by, like the Venetian is one of the restaurants.
Wow.
That the Venetian has restaurants. These are awesome meals.
That sound like it. If they come from the Venetian, they're got to be pretty good.
They're pretty good. So then we help them. Here comes the tricky part, helping you get your Social Security benefits reestablished in the community once you leave the nursing home. So right now we're very blessed. Traditionally we have no funding to do that, but with the CARES Act and with the nursing homes being the hotbeds for COVID, that's one of the tasks that we are just so grateful that we can do right now.
Yes, yes.
We are grateful, and we're happy to be able to do that. So,
wow, that's amazing. I mean, you offer a lot of services.
a lot of services, and I'm also going to touch a little bit on housing services, because for the past 3 years, the service that has been most in demand at the center, housing. Clark County, like the rest of our nation, is going through a crisis in housing. Actually, Clark County and Nevada as a whole are at the bottom of the rankings. We're very close to being at the very bottom of having the least affordable housing for our disability community and our senior community.
That surprises me. That's amazing.
It's the rental properties have been increasing their rent. We have seniors call every day and say, I have to move. They just increased my rent and I don't know what I'm going to do. They might have lived there 20, 30 years in the same unit, but their Social Security check is fixed income.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what they're going to do. So we start right away. We're blessed. We work with HUD. We partner. We have a memo of understanding with HUD that has given us the opportunity to screen individuals that qualify for HUD programs and run them through the chain of command quickly. Because once we determine eligibility, then we send them to HUD. HUD reestablishes eligibility because we have these plastic files at the center that right now we're working remotely, but we mail out the file. We say, here's what you need to put in your file. They're going to call you for a HUD meeting. We've made the referral. Take your file. Number one, put your income statement, put your Social Security statement, put a copy of your lease or your good referrals from your landlords. And then we say, now know that they're going to ask for a background test. So as soon as they give you that appointment, go meet the appointment. If you need bus passes or paratransit passes, let us know. We'll take care of that for you right away. If you need to take an Uber, let us know. We'll take care of that. You do not miss your appointment. That appointment is a blessing of above and beyond. It just doesn't happen. Traditionally, before all of this happened, the waiting list was 10 to 20 years to get into housing. We got very fortunate that Clark County was able to get some vouchers. Now, they got mainstream vouchers that they just stopped, and those were for ages 18 to 61. Right now, we're just doing another memo of understanding with HUD, and the age, again, is age 18, but they do have some broader senior ages in there. They are limiting it to, seniors with disabilities. There's limiting it to individuals that have been trafficked and individuals with domestic violence situations. But we work at the center, we work with the Housing Coalition, who has worked very hard to make changes in our laws in Nevada. We need to make some changes. In California, they've passed laws where the landlords have to put a cap on the rent. And the way they do that is the landlords are being subsidized. It's a double-edged coin, or a double-edged sword, because we support the landlord. We know they're trying to keep up with the cost of living, but we support the individual who needs a place to live. So we want an equal balance. We want it win-win for both of them. We don't want people, the next phase is they go couch surfing. It's from friend to friend to friend to friend. In the meantime, we work with them with all the resources that we know of to get them into a place to live. And I will tell you, some of the places that they do end up living, for them are very frightening. They've not been there before. They're not used to living in a different area. It's unknown to them. We try to work with them to say it's going to be different for a while, but once you get the voucher, you can move out in a year. So start looking.
Right.
Start looking, and then know that unfortunately this is the best that we can all do right now. So anyway, that's our with our housing vouchers. That's what we've been doing, and just our heart goes out to our community. Before all this started, we had a waiting list of 300 individuals that needed housing. And we thought with the vouchers it would go down. It hasn't, because we get more and more every day that need housing. So, and we do try to work with landlords and try to help them to see their way towards not increasing the rent, but they don't have a choice like everybody else. Everything has gone up.
Yes.
We're living in a different economy.
I find that even true with people who own their own homes, that these homeowners association fees are just skyrocketing. Unbelievable how they're skyrocketing. And supposedly the homeowners association is run by the homeowners, but for some reason they don't really have a lot of say in how high that association fee becomes. I know even like where I live, when I moved in, the association fee was $295 a month, and I've been there 3 years. And now with the assessments and everything they have, it's over $500 a month.
Oh my God! Yes, I believe that. And then we get calls throughout the year about that, because individuals cannot stay. You know, if you're on a fixed income and your association fees jump to $500, and let's say that you were right on the brink, you could make everything work before, but then that extra funds, it's like, where's it going to come from? And then the sad part is it's going to keep increasing.
Yes.
And what we've done in the past is we've coached individuals how to get onto the association board, and we've coached them on, they'll share with us the policies, regulations of their association fees. We look them over and we say, how about, if next time you make changes on your bylaws, if you add this clause. And the association fees are coming up because everything is going up. But there's always a way to look at everything and say, okay, maybe we shave a little off of this, or maybe this is a luxury that we can give up just so that we can keep our residents intact, and to understand that each and every location is going to have a certain amount of seniors, and actually we do have a large senior population.
Very large.
So with the associations, it can get, we've had cases where it's gotten very adversarial. We do not like to see adversarial situations. We prefer mediated situations. We prefer situations where we can all look at an issue and find a solution. And what we do is we're teachers. We train our consumers. We train them in self-advocacy, but we train, where do you go to change? Where do you go to make changes? Go to the policy, go to the bylaws. Start with that. And then it is networking, and then it's political.
Yes.
You need to always, with politics, know that you need to position, to strategize, who do you need where to make it so it's livable. And then each and every one of us has that capacity. Each and every one of us has that voice. Once we find our voice and we learn that there's no need for adversarial situations, there's no need for harshness, there's no need for anything, take your manners with you. Okay, every once in a while, you have to.
Yes.
And by that time, you've done everything. But when it reaches that point, you're losing your mediation powers. That's when you start your networking. You bring your other associate that agrees with you. There's ways to do it.
Yes.
And you can't do it alone.
No.
You have to go in as a group. You have to know what the end game. What do you need in the end game? You need association fees that are not going to keep going up. Our economy right now is very tenuous. It's going to get better because we're going to make it better. Things are going to get better because we always believe if we keep working towards making things better, they have to get better. If we say, it's going to get bad, we're sunk. No. How do we make it better?
Yes.
What is the tiniest thing that we can do? What is the tiniest change? And with associations, it's just a great training ground. So And with seniors, there's large numbers can make a big difference
Yes.
in any group, in any association, in any club. So that's what we teach our consumers.
That's just amazing what all you do. I found it incredible that you can do so many things in so many different areas to help senior citizens and disabled people.
And disabled people.
And you just did a 30th annual Disability Awareness Day, right?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. One of the reasons I can't talk today, we had our 30th annual Disability Awareness Day. And I started here over 3 decades ago. And one of the things I noticed was that we have a community, but it's fragmented. And I found other people like me. And so we talked and we thought, wow, wouldn't it be nice if we had a day where we could all have a fair and we could invite our disability community, our seniors, our elected officials for a fun day in the park where we can share information, where we can do presentations, where we can show off our young singers with disabilities that have singing groups, have dancing groups. So that's what we did Saturday. And because of the pandemic, we did limit it to 30 vendors.
Wow.
And we wanted vendors there that at the Center for Independent Living, the way we look at networking is we need everybody because that phone's going to ring and we're going to need Social Security. The phone's going to ring and we're going to need, associations. The phone's going to ring and we're going to need legal aid.
Right.
So we partner with, if there's a new group in town, we're usually one of the first at the door saying, hi, this is what we do. And we have ideas on how we can partner together. We have a group of lawyers with Social Security that are always calling, do you have any referrals? Do you have any referrals? And we know and we trust them. They think like we do. So we do make referrals there. It's the trust issue again.
Yes, yes.
I know Connie always says, oh, Mary, you and your trust issues. But our consumers, we want to protect them. So anyway, with Disability Awareness Day, we invite our partners, and we had a wonderful day. The weather was phenomenal. We had a big turnout. When we decided to do Disability Awareness Day, we thought, is anybody going to come? We don't know. Is everybody still sheltering? Are they quarantining? And so we thought, okay, well, we'll give it a try. We had some wonderful, wonderful sponsors. Anthem Health Insurance sponsored us. We had one of the car rental companies, Enterprise Car Rental, they sponsored us. We had the Challenger newspaper, that's a newspaper for seniors and for people with disabilities. They sponsored us. We had our partnership with the adaptive recreation programs with the city of Las Vegas. And we had the event, we've had it on and off for over 30 years at the Sammy Davis Jr. Pavilion, which was really popular during the days of the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra and the whole group, and they would entertain. It's an outdoor area with a stage that's just absolutely beautiful. It's adobe. It's so charming. I consider that location, again, one of our secret treasures that we have here in Las Vegas. So the attendance was great. We had speakers from different agencies, and I do want to share this with you. We partner with the Assistive Technology Program that provides loaner program for seniors and people with disabilities, and especially with us seniors because it's the tablet, okay, the iPhone, and then it's like the watch. What's the piece of adaptive equipment that's going to work with us?
Right.
So they have loaners. You can try it for 6 months and see if that's going to work for you.
That's good to find out that way.
That is good to find out. And then right now, with our CARES Act funding, our center is able to purchase, like let's say you're good match for a tablet. We can purchase the tablet right now. Let's say you're good for an iPhone. That's going to work for you. A lot of our seniors want the plain flip phone. If that's what you want, that's what you need, and you don't have the funds. There's a circle, a village surrounding them right now. But I do want to share with you, with the assistive technology program, we've been working with some of the people that are in the nursing homes that don't have a way to communicate with their family members. And they can go out and loan them a piece of equipment, and then the staff at the nursing home, and then we train by Zoom. They figure out what's going to work best for them, and then our center can make that purchase for them.
That's amazing.
We're so happy to be able to do that. We're so sorry about the pandemic. We are so sorry about that. But what it did with the federal government, they trusted us. They said the centers can go out there and do what a lot of other people can't, and they can do it quickly. That's our big gift. We can work fast. I'm at the bank getting a deposit for rental within the hour, we have to work that fast because the apartments come up.
Yes.
They're gone in an hour. So we have a team. I pick up the deposit, hand it off. We're over there. We get the apartment. State agencies, federal agencies can't work that fast. But we've made a commitment to work that fast to get people that are at risk of being institutionalized into a unit.
That's wonderful.
Oh, and we love doing it. We love doing it. But with the new administration, they are passing down an increase to us because of the good work we've done. Centers have been nothing but successful in accomplishing what they set out to accomplish. And at Disability Awareness Day, we were able to tell the individuals that attended, we also have a food program for individuals that are homebound, that cannot get up. And you'd be surprised how many people are homebound and cannot get up and go get their own groceries. So we've been able to support them. We set up a program for groceries through very basic Smith's and Albertsons, because they can work like we do. They can work fast, they can work quick, and mostly they can get us good invoices for our accounting department. We tried the larger ones. So anyway, we can do that. And also we announced that we can buy PPEs, protective personal equipment, masks, sanitizers, Clorox, toothpaste, lotion. What do you need to protect yourself? And you don't have the funds and you can't get out of your house to buy it. We have those delivered on a monthly basis as needed. We are working with these individuals because when we don't have funds, we want to set up a plan where they still have help. So we never leave anybody high and dry. So we announced that at our Disability Awareness Day. We had close to 300 people attend. We had a vaccine clinic where about 30 people got vaccinated for the first time. The health district was there. They gave flu shots, and we were amazed. Remember, we had the child, the parent, the grandparent. So there was something there for everybody. And then because of our funding sources, we're not allowed to spend money on food. We had hot dogs throughout the day, snow cones, iced tea, coffee. Need that coffee. Got to keep that coffee going. And then Dina Titus, who's been one of our supporters, came. And then I love what Dina does. Dina always comes and she speaks, but she gathers data on what's your most pertinent need right now. And then Dina and I work together. If she can't help them, send them to us. If we can't help them, we send them to Dina. And we work like that with a lot of our elected officials to get things done. Sometimes that's what you need is a call from the congresswomen's. And it's the aide. Dina's busy. She's just such a dynamic person doing everything.
Yes. She's been wonderful with our community.
Oh, she does. She has supported us in so many ways. And I like Dina because she is like us. I mean, yes, we can be on TV one minute, but the next minute we're off looking for a tilt wheelchair.
Yes.
Calling everybody we know saying, do you have a tilt wheelchair? Because we have somebody, and actually we have somebody that needs one right now because his chair just aged out. So we're calling up to Reno, up to Washoe. That's our network, and we love it. And part of our network is inviting our vendors. So we had the assistive technology program there. We had another program that provides home modifications. They're the one program that for the seniors and aging, if you meet all the criteria, you know the stairs that take you up the stairs,
yes.
and you can live in your home, that can be done. We had I'm trying to think, the Clark County school system was there for the kids. And then for seniors, we had several other programs. We had one program, again, that does remodeling for the home for seniors that meet income eligibility criteria. We had not vendors. We don't have people that sell. All the services are free. We had legal aid there. We had the Nevada Disability and Advocacy Law Center that supports our community. And I bought you the program because in the program is everybody that came. Then each person gets a program and they get a phone number.
That's wonderful.
And
That's
then
wonderful.
We also mentioned at our Disability Awareness Day, this is a book that we published, and I'm going to drop off one to you. This is the one that I use with everything. One of our interns uses it as well. It's a copy of a pocket guide. They're free.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And our community, it's a small community, but our seniors love the pocket guide. Our young people like our website. And these are free for anyone that enlists with our services. And it's subdivided into categories. We have everything from employment to housing, hospice. We have to think about.
Yes, we do.
We have to think about everything: physicians, eye specialists, rehabilitation, public transportation.
So how would they go about getting one of these?
They enlist for our services. What we do is when they call, they screen. The individuals do have to have a permanent disability.
Can you just look right in that camera and tell them
Yes.
how to do that, because we're running out of time, and I
Of
want to
course.
be sure that they know how to get access to you and to your services.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Again, I am Mary Evilsizer. I am the Executive Director for the Southern Nevada Center for Independent Living. We are located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we serve Clark County, Nevada. We are located at 2950 South Rainbow Boulevard, Suite 220, and we are at zip code 89146. Again, right now we're working remotely, so the best way to reach us is to call 702-889-4216. 702-889-4216. We also have a website. You can hop onto our website, and there's a form there to request services. And the website is www.sncil.org. And it's been a pleasure and such a wonderful opportunity. We can't thank you enough. Through people like you, we're able to help more individuals and reach individuals that need support in just transitioning to a different phase of life. That's all we're doing, and we're all at different phases.
Well, I can't thank you enough for being here, because I know that many of the people watching our show do need these services and probably don't even know that they're available to them. And so I'd love for you to come back again from time to time, and let's just keep people updated on what's available
I would love
for
that.
them. That would be great. So thank you so much for being here today.
You
Thank
are
you.
a treasure.
Appreciate you.
You are a treasure. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And thank you for joining us today. And incidentally, if you have a story that you'd like us to share here on What's My Story or What's Your Story, it's not my story, it's your story. But if you have a story that you'd like to share, please get in touch with me, Judy at judymario.com, and let me know that you are interested in being on the show and sharing your story. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.